We are. This is day number 11 on the Bibbulmun Track, continuing on from where I ended up last time, which was Mount Dale campsite. But this time we're starting south of it and heading back up towards the camp. But I do have these guys with me, and this is the first time that we're going to be staying overnight. We've got 10 k's to walk. Let's see how we do it, eh? So do you guys remember the first rule of hiking? That's it. Easy, 10 k's. It's not going to take us that long, hopefully. Let's see. So first stop we're going to have is at Brookton campsite. It's only 2.6 k's in from the highway, and it's actually been designed for mobility impaired people. So the track's fairly wide, it's flat, and they do a good job of maintaining it. I mean, being the maintainer of this section would be a fairly big endeavour, I'm sure, to try and keep it clear, but you can even bring those sort of off-road buggies along here. 2.6 k's, you can bring, you know, a 3-year-old to be able to walk that. So nice for families, and we're almost there. So we're about to make it to Brookton campsite. I said before, 2.3 k's. So we're still obviously fairly fresh and no complaining yet, but there it is. It's one of the modern styles of huts. Yeah. Looks pretty good. Fill in the book. Gonna go check out the tent sites at Brookton and what it's like. I actually prefer the campsites to the hut. I know it might be a bit weird, but there you go. Look at how neat that is. Perfect, brushed, square. That's very impressive, very designated. And I don't know, I guess it's because I'm used to camping, like when we go 4-wheel driving, I prefer it. So this is a great spot. I think they call the new type of huts rammed earth. The only criticism I'd have about them is the walls are a bit crumbly, but they look great. Don't know what they're like for warmth. I mean, the old huts, 3-sided huts, they don't provide a whole heap of warmth. So yeah, make sure you've got a sleeping bag that's rated to 0. You can get cheaper ones that cost you next to nothing that are for sort of 12 degrees, but they're pretty much as good as having a sheet, and it does get pretty cool in the bush. It's surprising the difference in the temperature that you can get from daytime to nighttime temperatures, especially this time of year. It's the end of May. Actually, tomorrow's the first day of winter, but can't complain about the temperature today. It's beautiful. It's I think it's forecast for about 24. It wouldn't quite be there yet, but ideal temperature for hiking. Out of complete bad luck, I just went to use the tap here at the campsite, and it must have been used fairly recently, but there was a couple of bees inside it, so I turned it on with my hands underneath and got stung straight out by a bee. Luckily I've got some stingos, but maybe you just be mindful of that. I don't know how, 1 in a million, I guess, of that happening. So maybe turn it on, just let it run for a bit in case you got some creepy crawlies up there. Anyway, nice campsite. Boys are just doing a bit of cleaning, just doing the walls, a bit of detailing. So if you're the next guest at Brookton, enjoy the spotless walls. We're about to leave anyway. Continue on our way. We're only at the very beginning. Then we've got Mount Dale campsite, which we should be getting to mid-afternoon, something like that. We're 3.4 kilometers in, and we're just having another rest. The trick with walking with guys that are this age is walk for half an hour, have a rest, and then walk for another half an hour. And the key to it is having plenty of snacks, because there's nothing worse than having not only a kid with sore feet and sore shoulders from carrying a bag, but also hungry. So at least can eliminate one of those things.
Don't forget I'm tired.
And yeah, you're tired, aren't you, Jimmy? Yeah, Will's tired too, aren't you, Will?
And Will's mending something.
And he's mending a grass tree. So we're gonna have a bit of a breather.
I'm building a tunnel.
Build a tunnel, play with the grass tree, and then crack on. Kind of nearly approaching halfway. Now the scenery's sort of definitely changed a little bit, reminiscent of the other side of Mount Dale. And the track's gotten narrower too, which I prefer. I like the bush rule up and close on a tiny little single track kind of trail, as opposed to the wide open fire breaky type track, which is just boring. So a nice windy path, and fairly soon we'll be approaching halfway, and I expect we'll be having another break. It's 1:30. We left at I think 10, so 3.5 hours in, and no tears. Five K's in, starting to take its toll on the boys. It's halfway. So we're gonna have a bit of a rest and see how we go. But it's still a nice day. The boys are messing around on the radios. 'Back to running. Well, the boys are in good moods because they had some lollies. So my scroggin's a little bit unorthodox. I've got M&Ms, Skittles, salted cashews, and just some of the Haribo type lollies. So not exactly healthy, but a good sort of boost of sugar. Not that it's good sugar, but I'm waiting for the crash, which should happen anytime soon, but then we'll just have some more. So the boys don't normally eat lollies, so a bit of a treat for them, and it's certainly made them a little bit more energetic. I thought I was losing them back there. So there is Mount Dale, which hopefully you can see in the camera. And that way, that hill is a really nice view. If you take your car up there, you can get a two-wheel drive up there too.
Wow.
So we're sort of near civilization, and the campsite is this side of the hill. So we're just about there. According to Gut Hook, we've got 2 kilometers to go. And set the tent up, and we've got mee goreng for the boys' dinner, which is one of their favourites. So that's a surefire way to get their hopes up for the walk back tomorrow, which is going to be much more fun than it was today. We're just about there. I'm with Vodafone, and Vodafone has really bad signal, and I'm not exactly in the middle of Australia. Sure, we're out in the forest, but I've got no signal, and told my wife that I'd try and let her know that we got there okay, and I've no way of letting her know. She's picking us up tomorrow at 4 o'clock where she dropped us off, and I've got the feeling if there's no one at the campsite that has a phone that I can use, that she's going to spend the night not knowing, which is, I feel terrible. I did tell her there was a chance that we wouldn't have signal, and to not worry if she didn't hear from us. We've got a locator beacon as well, should be run into serious trouble. So hopefully there's other people at the campsite that I can let know, or ask them to use their phone if they've got signal. So I was looking online about how far they recommend 5-year-olds walk, and the sort of rough guide was per age is the kilometres they can walk, meaning if they're 3Ks, and the boys have just turned 5, so that'd be 5Ks, and we're doing 10. So I don't know whether that counts as cruelty. They're doing all right. They're pretty tired. They're going to sleep well tonight, and hopefully they'll be sort of a little bit kind of, I guess, pack fit tomorrow. It's more of a psychological thing, I think, walking, you know, for them. I mean, I don't know what the equivalent of 10Ks is for us, but it's a really, really long way for them. Probably 4 steps to mile 1. They're doing really, really well, and we're just about there, so we can relax. Just about there. Oh yes. Oh yes. Wow. Oh, 10Ks, 6 hours. Boys are excited for bunk beds. No one here. To walk around the campsite and see if there's anybody. We made it. We didn't break any records.
Oh, I need the wee.
But we did it. Jim needs a wee. See you in a sec.
I need the wee.
Go, open it up. Here we go, you got the...
They signed out.
Now we're going to sign in. Let's get the sign-in book out. That green one.
Wow.
Yeah, grab that one. Yeah, come down. Leave that. Grab the book out. Get the book.
Why?
That's it. We'll sign in. Should be a pen in there as well. Can you find a pen?
No.
No pen.
I got a pen now.
We've got one. No, don't take things out. There's the pen. A bit broken, but that'll do.
Jim! People were signed in. Papa, people signed in already.
Yeah.
People signed in.
The boys are just getting set up.
People.
Don't know if we're going to bother with the tent tonight. They're happy to stay in the hut. And as I said before, there's no one here. So we filled in the guest book. So the things to fill in are the date, yeah, sort of name. I've just put Epic Drives Western Australia. Here's your group name, whatever you want. If you're part of an organised group, age, your male or female, where you're from, where you started, where you're ending, how many nights, if you're staying at this place overnight or not. So we are, and then I've just put in here the time we arrived and that we're heading back to Brookton Hwy. We're aiming to be back by 4 o'clock, which is when Laurie's picking us up. So this is us for the night. The boys are exhausted, but they're rejuvenated now that they're camping, so they're stoked. And see how we go. We've got a nice view of the hill. And I've actually been here once before, met a couple of people over from Queensland, and can't fault the spot. It's a very nice hut, the old style wood. Mount Dale, here it is. One of the things I like to use and swear by pretty much, I've had good success with it, is this thing here called the thermocell. I don't know if you've heard them before, but you give it a few clicks and you get a little pilot light up at the top. It's very faint, but means it's on. Heats up this pad, which has just got a smell of something that Mozzies don't like. And yeah, you get about a couple of metre radius where you get, I wouldn't say no Mozzies, but less Mozzies. we'll see how it goes tonight, because despite the fact it's quite cool, there's already mozzies around, and you know, it's a summertime thing, but I guess it's an all year round thing in the middle of nowhere. I gotta go.
We're just camping. We realized we had a tent. Look. So, we're having an adventure. The animals are really beautiful. The rainforest. Anyway, let's go. That was just a bug. Nothing in the road. And there's the camping spot. And look at the camping. There's the camping zone. I'm making a video just like you. That was a white for nothing to scream about. We had a quail row. We both fell out. I cried. Look at you. Well, anyway, just keep smiling. Bye. See you next. I'm still on. Hello, now the level.
It's at 7 o'clock. Sun's just coming up, and Will's saying he's got a sore foot this morning, which is really not good. And so hopefully we can get some breakfast into him and have a look at his foot, and it'll all be good. Otherwise, I don't know. Someone came in about 10:30 last night, rocked up. So I'm hoping maybe they've got a phone we can ask to use. They're still sleeping, so I've just walked up the path a bit so the boys can talk. But yeah, could be interesting. A short time later, the hiker who had arrived during the night woke up and thankfully had a phone with signal. So I was able to contact Laurie and arrange to be picked up at Mount Dale, which is only 2.5 kilometres away. Will had to be carried out, which would have been a serious problem had we had to walk back the 10 kilometres that we had originally planned. Haven't done much filming this morning. There's a Will's sore leg. I've had to carry him, and we've just got this hill to go. It's got a nice view, but I don't think we'll stop and take in the views. And yeah, find out what's wrong with Will's leg. It's quite bizarre, but hopefully nothing too serious. And there they are. You boys had fun?
No.
No, Jimmy hasn't really. He's got muddle over his face. I don't know. You just didn't. Why didn't you have that much fun, Jim?
Because Will doesn't need to hold his bag, and I do.
Ah. Yeah, I've strapped on Will's bag onto mine. And Jimmy wasn't too pleased with that he's got to walk and carry his bag. Onwards. We made it. We're at the car park waiting for Laurie to pick us up now. And it's 11 o'clock. So, bit of a different end to what I planned, but, you know, and then nonetheless, which is always a good thing. If you like watching, just remember to please subscribe, like, share, comment, and see you again soon on Epic Drives Western Australia. Catch up. Will's foot was sore the following day, but quickly got better. As to what caused him pain, well, it's a mystery, but the good news is he's running around as usual, and he's already asking what our next hike is going to be.